Hello, friends! In our video today, we will discuss the most interesting political events happening in the world in April 2025. Exciting events continue to unfold on the global stage, and we will take a look at the most important news that may affect the future. Ready? Then let's go! Political situation in Ukraine. Let's start with Ukraine, where the situation continues to be in the center of world news. In April 2025, active confrontation continues in the east of the country, but there are also positive shifts in the diplomatic process. Recent negotiations between Ukraine, the EU, and Russia on the issue of a ceasefire give hope for a possible long-term ceasefire. However, political instability remains a serious problem for Ukraine, and sanctions imposed on Russia continue to put pressure on the economy. At the same time, many experts believe that the situation may change in the coming months, depending on new political decisions in Europe and the United States. What do world leaders expect from the upcoming negotiations? Will an agreement be reached, or will the conflict continue? Time will tell. U.S.-China tensions. The next major topic is the growing tensions between the U.S. and China. In April 2025, the two countries continue to wage a trade war and clash over security in the South China Sea. The U.S. imposes new sanctions on Chinese technology, and in response, China strengthens its political and economic position in Asia and beyond. Despite attempts at negotiations, disagreements over human rights and politics in Hong Kong, as well as China's influence in global markets, continue to have a major impact on the relationship. Tensions were heightened in April when the Chinese military increased its presence in a strategically important area of the Pacific Ocean. The world community is watching the situation unfold, as the consequences of this standoff could affect not only bilateral relations, but also the global economy. Elections and political changes in Latin America in April 2025. Latin America is experiencing important political events. Several countries in the region have held or are planning elections that could change the political landscape on the continent. In Argentina, for example, there is a bitter struggle between opposition and government forces, with the deteriorating economic situation being the central theme. In Brazil, the political situation is also unstable. The new president continues to clash with protests against reforms, and in Venezuela, the political crisis continues despite international efforts to resolve the conflict. Protests in Latin America. How will these elections and changes affect regional stability? What will happen to the economy and social programs? All these questions remain relevant, and most likely we will hear more about these events in the near future. Europe. Brexit and its consequences for the UK and the EU. Europe is not staying away from political changes either. In the UK, the consequences of Brexit continue. In April 2025, the issue of trade agreements with the EU remains important. Many experts note that despite the completion of the formal process of leaving the EU, the UK faces new economic and political challenges. The UK is trying to establish new trade relations with other countries, but many doubt that the economic losses from Brexit can be compensated for in the coming years. What will be the long-term consequences for UK domestic and foreign policy? And how will this affect the future of the European Union? We see that Brexit remains a serious challenge for many European countries. Africa. Political changes in Nigeria and Sudan. In Africa, the political situation is also undergoing significant changes. In Nigeria, despite the transfer of power to a new president, unrest continues due to economic difficulties and conflicts between different ethnic groups. In Sudan, the situation remains unstable, despite the efforts of the international community to stabilize the country after the revolution. International organizations, including the UN, continue to provide assistance, but peace processes face many obstacles. Political and economic challenges in these countries have a serious impact on regional security and development. As we can see, April 2025 brought many political changes around the world. The situations in Ukraine, the USA and China, Latin America, Europe and Africa, all these events continue to unfold and will influence the future. We will continue to monitor them and share relevant information with you. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Like and write in the comments which of these events interested you the most. Thanks for watching and see you soon.